Our text verse comes from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Now, may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. He who calls you is faithful, who also will do it. I think that this is the first time I have ever done a sermon where I used the same verse for the text verse as I do for the closing verse. I think it's right to do so because without understanding all of the corrections to the errors and translations in the sermon verses, you might come up with a completely different view of what Paul is saying. I mean, how many denominations, churches, pastors, preachers, and teachers adamantly state that a person can lose his salvation? We're reading the same Bible and coming to completely different conclusions concerning a matter of real doctrinal importance. In the end, only one view is correct. That means that the other is incorrect. And that means that an enormous number of people believe 100% incorrectly on this issue. Can you lose your salvation, or is it eternal? That is problematic. Paul says that God who calls you is faithful. He also says that he will perform, meaning do what he said in the previous verse, meaning preserving us blameless. Either what he says is true or it is not. But where do we find out about the faithfulness of God? How can we tell if he is reliable or not? Well, you can do so right from the history and continued existence of Israel. But when you either don't know that history or when you have a faulty view of it because of faulty translations, as well as faulty teachers of the word concerning it, then you will naturally come to the conclusion that God's faithfulness is not always something to be relied on. How tragic. Let us be in the Word. Let us evaluate it as precisely as we can. And let us never apologize for doing so. I went through it for you, and now you just sit there and sit still and listen to it from me. Okay, let's do it. Great things are to be found in his superior word. And so let us turn to that precious word once again. And may God speak to us through his word today, and may his glorious name ever be praised.